Liabilities are debts you owe. The time value of money can also work against you.
A lot of people get into financial trouble by constantly spending more than they earn. Credit is readily available today. That's both good and bad. It's good because credit can enhance your ability to undertake attractive investments such as a college education or a home.
I fundamentally believe that there's a key difference between buying something with credit that is an asset versus consuming something with credit. Okay, when you go to the pizza place with your friends and use money you don't have, you don't still have the pizza. It is really gone. Whereas when you buy a home, you are borrowing money, but you are purchasing an asset that retains some degree of value. And then assuming that the servicing of that debt, paying that person back with interest, is affordable, it enables you to buy a very expensive asset before you have to save for the whole amount. By being able to make a really sacrificial endeavor to save the down payment and take on an amount of debt that the service of which might even be less than they're paying in rent anyways, or maybe equal to it, then they're building equity. The other example has always been, we talked about student debt, where you're taking on debt, you're gonna have to pay it off, but at least you're building an investment into a career, into a future, to education.
But borrowing can be bad. When you borrow to buy things that will soon be of little value, use student loans to go on spring break, or max out credit cards only to pay the minimum amount due. When you recklessly spend more than you earn, your financial anxiety will build as your wealth declines, and you make large interest payments on items you've already consumed.
As a general rule, paying for your vacations and your surfboards and your clothes shopping and your nights out with your friends with credit, well, clearly the asset is gone. You have zero of asset, but you still have the debit. So all you're doing is making yourself poorer by doing that. The avoidance of credit card debt early on is probably one of the great blessings a young person can ever give themselves. It's very debilitating to have to unwind significant credit card debt when you're really trying to get ahead and move forward in your adult life.
It's going to make you a lot less financially secure because you're going to have stress and have to worry about your interest rates going up from not being able to pay off those cards every month.
Someone could get to a point where they're literally spending over $1,000 a month and they're not chipping away at the debt at all. And I think that is what really ends up happening is you get used to the idea, I have a fixed expense of just making a credit card payment. I just paid $700, $800 a month for a credit card payment. And that could be a very high percentage of one's income. It ultimately leads to that kind of exasperation of feeling like you're never getting ahead. You get a raise, but you don't get to save or invest any of the money because you're still getting out from being, behind. The worst ramifications of excessive debt have always been emotional. They drain on people's joy, they add to their anxiety, but they take